Meet Bob. Bob lives in his mom's cold, damp basement. He barely graduated from high school and is broke. He constantly thinks, how can I get some money? And my life sucks. At night, Bob dreams of a rich life. He gives a pile of cash to his mom, gets a white Toyota Tacoma, and lives in a nice apartment. One morning, Bob sits up in bed and says, enough! It's time to get a job. He gets one at McDonald's and he loves it. But after a few weeks, Bob realizes his McDonald's pay won't get him out of the basement. The job is greasy and boring, so he looks for another job. Bob becomes a receptionist at a Mercedes dealership. It's a step up, but he still can't afford rent. One afternoon, Bob watches a customer buy a $149,000 red convertible for his wife. Bob is so desperate he asks him, excuse me, but how'd you get so rich? The customer smiles and says, simple, I mastered some valuable skills. Bob realizes he has just learned something important. He thinks, if I could build incredible websites, I could start my own business and get rich too. Bob is excited until he remembers his big problem. Wait, I can't learn any skills. I hate to study. But then a friend sends him a link to How to Master Any Skill. Bob looks at the 5 steps for mastering any skill and thinks, this looks interesting. Maybe I'll give it a try. After all, it's free, so why not? Bob then takes step number 1 and looks for the best material to study. He starts by watching YouTube videos on building websites. But after a few hours, he realizes they're just trying to sell me stuff. So he searches until he finds an online course that includes great reviews and sample lessons. After trying out the free lessons, Bob thinks, perfect. Even though he doesn't have much money, Bob pays for the first month. He thinks, this costs less than a big pizza and might be a lot better for me. Soon after starting the first lesson of his online course, Bob spaces out. He gets confused. He yawns. Bob thinks, this is why I hate to study. I think I'll quit. But then he remembers step number 2 and how he needs to understand every word. Bob thinks, maybe I want to quit is because I have a misunderstood word. Bob spots one. What about the word host? Is that like a party host? He looks it up in a dictionary and realizes host is a big computer that stores websites. Oh, I get it. A website host. Bob's brain fog vanishes. Wow, it worked. I feel great. Bob realizes he will need to understand every word and idea in his course. For the first time ever, Bob enjoys learning. He takes step number 3 to connect what he learns to reality. He finds some website examples and says, oh, I see how that works. Bob's online course suddenly tells him, time for you to build your first website. But Bob isn't ready. So he uses step number 4 and backs up and reviews his material until he is ready. He is now confident. Finally, Bob takes step number 5 and builds one website after another. He makes mistakes. He keeps improving. He keeps practicing until his websites explode with results. Bob's dreams come true. Because of his new skill, Bob starts a successful website company. His income explodes. He gets his own apartment, buys a new truck, and surprises his mom with a pile of cash. Bob says, I did it. If I can master a skill like this, anyone can. So which skills do you want to master? Check out How to Master Any Skill at tipsforsuccess.org and make your dreams come true, like Bob.